envisage that preliminary results will be released 3 months after the end of the exercise, while the basic reports of the census are expected to be released within 6 months. The final detailed analytical disaggregated reports will be released within 1 year after the census enumeration. At this stage, I also want to state, in the interest of transparency and openness, I wish to state that of the total budgeted figure of 18.5 billion for the exercise, it's important to clarify that this amount is spread over 5 years, from the financial year 2016 to the financial year 2020. The detailed breakdown of costs as per budgeted activities in cash shillings are as follows. At the design, development, and planning of the census process, about 255 million was used. In carrying out the cartographic mapping exercise, which was done 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, over 3 billion was used. In the area of publicity and advocacy, about 500 million was used. In the conduct of the pilot census, about 118 million was used, while the main enumeration area that will be taking place will cost us about 10 billion. ICT equipment and softwares will consume also another 3 billion. During the analysis and dissemination, we'll also need about 200 million for the exercise. It's important to know that the biggest proportion of the budget goes towards emolument of the census personnel, who include mapping assistants, enumerators, supervisors, and also payment of allowances for local administrators and village elders, as well as purchasing of the mobile devices. It is gratifying to note that the utilization of this budget resulted in direct and indirect benefits to the economy. The first was the transfer of technology to assembly of devices by 2 local universities, because the devices that are going to be used for this exercise are actually manufactured here in Kenya by 2 of our universities. So you can imagine the level of technology transfers, and that these devices will later on be used for other exercise that's going to happen in the country. Additionally, it's going to create over 200,000 jobs. The government wishes to assure all Kenyans that the information provided will be treated with utmost confidentiality in conformity with the UN fundamental principles of official statistics and as stipulated in the Statistics Act 2006. All residents are encouraged during the exercise to cooperate with the teams that will visit them for the census enumeration, and thus every person should provide accurate information during the period. I also wish to state that all the available resources have been already sent to the various counties for payment of the individuals, the personnel involved, and for any attendant cost. So nobody should complain because money have been transferred. And for at the end of the exercise, the individual enumerators and other census personnel will be paid directly through their bank accounts that have already been provided to assistance on their own accord. About the village elders and local administrators, payments will be done through the census, county census committee, and money have already been transferred to this effect. At this stage, I now want to appeal to all Kenyans to consider this as a patriotic duty and cooperate with the people involved in the exercise, in the enumeration, so that we realize maximum result. We are therefore saying to all Kenyans, jitokeze wesabike. Asante sana. At this stage, I want to invite my colleague, the Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Information, Honorable Musheru, to come and take us through the bit in as far as utilization of ICT is concerned, in as far as how we are going to utilize and manage the information flow from the various areas to the headquarters, to our command center. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Waziri. Good morning again to you, media. Mine, I wish to make a statement on the data management and the communication process during this population and housing census enumeration exercise. I would like to first assure Kenyans that your data and information is safe and secure. We have ensured that we have several security measures that we've put in place to ensure that all the information that we collect is not only stored in a secure place, but we have full redundancy. The equipment that is being used, which are 7-inch tablets, these devices, as you've heard, were assembled locally, and they have our software, which we have developed within the country. And therefore, we are able to ensure that all the data, as it is transmitted, as it is processed, is actually done within our control. And we assure you that we have the full capacity to ensure full security. In order to ensure that the transmission of data is only coming from those devices, we have created a special network. And that network will only be used to send the data to all the data centers. You will not have other devices out there being able to transmit into our servers. So we're very sure that also the quality of the data coming is only coming from our own sources. The mobile devices are protected, as I've mentioned, and you cannot, the enumerators cannot change the software that is already there, and therefore we are fairly certain that the data we get will be the correct data, and that we will be monitoring on a continuous basis everything that is being transmitted, the quality, and ensuring that it is in good order. I also wish to, at this point, mention that we have sufficient data storage to ensure that all the data for all the citizens that is coming through will actually be stored in our multiple data centers. The requirement at the moment is for about 3 terabytes of data, but we have capacity now for over 40 terabytes. So we have more than enough capacity that is required. We have 3 data sites that we've put in place where we have our data primary site and 2 redundancy sites. And these are replicated throughout, so that even if one site is down, the others will continue to maintain the data. As regards the communication, that has been streamlined. This is the last briefing that we'll do as cabinet. Going forward, we will have media briefings that will be done by the government spokesman and the Director General of the KNBS. They will be doing this on a daily basis at 10 a.m. from the Media Briefing Center at Teleposta Towers. We do not expect anybody else to communicate on the census other than the 2 I have mentioned. For technical information, the county commissioners in the different counties will be able to provide information so that, for instance, if you want to know where the enumerators are, if you have any technical issues, they can provide. But on the progress of the census, that will be done, as I said, by the government spokesman and the Director General of the KNBS. We have set up a hotline number, which we have tested and is fully functional, and that is 0800 221 020, where anyone can call to get any information that you want regarding the census process, and we will be able to ensure that you're fully updated. The census process is distinctly different from the Huduma number process. If you recall, the Huduma number process was registering citizens with their biometric information so that we can have identification information on our citizens, a single source of truth. That exercise took place, and we ensured that we have now data of our citizens. The census data is very different, because what we're doing is that we're not only getting the identification of citizens, but we're now enumerating a lot more information that we will use for our planning for the next 10 years as a country. We will be able to find out information, for instance, how many farmers we have, how many teachers we have, all the information that we need about the economy, about the development of the country, so that we are able to plan. The way we conducted the Huduma number registration, we had only about 31,500 devices that we were using across the country. It was registering people, and we took a period of 3 months to do the registration. The census exercise happens on the reference day, which is the 24th, 25th. This is Saturday night, and goes on only for 7 days. We have over 164,000 enumerators that are out there. And therefore, the two exercises are fairly different. The information that we get is very important for us in terms of our planning and ensuring that as a country we're going to develop even better. We will have questions later, but for now let me invite my colleague, CS Fred Matiang'i, to now address the security features.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think our role is to provide support to our colleagues at the Ministry of Planning and the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics to conduct the census exercise. Therefore, I start first of all by confirming to you we are ready. We will deploy effectively. We've already moved all the security resources to wherever we feel they are needed most. And you saw early in the week, our Principal Secretary in charge of Interior issued a circular to ensure that all security personnel are on duty for the entire census period. So none of us in the security sector is going to be on leave. We're all on duty until this exercise is conducted and completed. Secondly, to ensure that we identify and know who is involved in this exercise, our county commissioners across all the 47 counties are issuing accreditation documents to observers or monitors of the census exercise. So if you are interested in observing or monitoring the census exercise, you have until 6 o'clock tomorrow, 6 p.m., to go to the county commissioner of the county you want to observe the exercise to obtain accreditation. The county commissioner will require you to fill out some forms and give him or her some information, after which the county commissioner will give you an identification document that you will carry around with you if you are not employed. So there are only 3 types of people we will have out on Saturday evening and on Sunday evening and for the rest of the 7 days. They will either be census officials employed through the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, either enumerators, content supervisors, and so on. Or 2, security personnel, our police officers, our assistant chiefs and chiefs, county commissioners, SECs, and all that. Or 3, monitors who must carry identification document given by the county commissioner as official monitors or observers of the exercise. Any other person is therefore not supposed to be involved in that exercise. And if they come around, our security personnel are well aware of what they would do with that person. We have requested our fellow Kenyans, and I want to say this with utmost humility. We are sorry for the inconvenience that is going to be caused to you because we ask that social places be closed at 5. But look, my friends, we are in this interesting situation. We have to do this census, and it's once in 10 years. Once in 10 years. So we are asking you, because under the law, social places like bars are open at 2 on Saturday. At a personal level, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but at an official level, let me say this, because I will not encourage you to drink. But anyway, at a personal level, I'm saying you can go have your drink between 2 and 5 o'clock. And more experienced people tell me that if you are not satisfied with beer for 3 whole hours, then there's a problem with you. So by 5, then, proceed home so that you can be counted. And you can also watch Liverpool and Arsenal play at home with your family. maybe they will have a chance they rarely have of watching a football match with you. And then we'll do the same on Sunday. And then the rest of the week, we'll carry on with our normal activities. And then, as I said, I know and we understand some members of our society, and we absolutely respect their feelings. Feel that, you know, they would like to be out longer. It's understandable, and as public servants, we want to say we understand that. But we want to persuade you also to understand that we do this once every 10 years, and we have this situation which we really have to go through. So you'll be happy to enjoy your company and social drink and everything else until 5 on Saturday and on Sunday. Just this once in 10 years, so that we can conduct this exercise. And again, as a responsible public servant, let me say, I'm sorry for the inconvenience caused, but now we have to carry out the census. So please, do understand that we have to do this. Some people are asking me through social media, can we revise the decision? No, we will not revise it. We are going to carry out census between 6 p.m. on Saturday 24th and 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. And again, the exercise will resume, especially in households that will not have been visited, again 6 p.m. on Sunday to 6 a.m. again on Monday morning. That is what I have been asked and advised by my colleagues in the Ministry of Planning and the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And for us in the security sector, our responsibility is to facilitate this exercise, and we are absolutely ready to participate to facilitate the exercise. So sorry for the inconvenience, but please bear in mind that it's only this once in 10 years. And in the life of a nation, is that one time when we all must take a little inconvenience here and there to facilitate an important exercise such as we are doing. We are not being insensitive, but we are also not going to revise the hours. We have worked on this for 3 years, making this plan, and let's not cause confusion. Let's go ahead. And for you, my good friends from the media, I need to emphasize this. No one, under the law, we can't, we cannot ban drinking, like the way some of you are reporting, that we have banned bars and, so on. You would think the world is coming to an end this weekend. No. We've just asked you to enjoy yourself until around 5. And 5 p.m., honorably, just go home and then be counted with your family. Then you can resume your business the following day again until around 5. Then you have all the time of your life to continue now enjoying, watch all the matches you want to watch, and drink all the things you want to drink as you go along. But we would have actually conducted the census those 2 days. So we are sorry for the inconvenience, but this is something that we have to do. Lastly, I need to say this. You've had His Excellency the President say this more than once recently. I want to ask our leaders across the country, especially political leaders. This is a straightforward census exercise, and let us allow it to be that. There are attempts, there are parts of the country where we have received a few reports. People are trying to do some funny games, asking people to move this way or that way. This is a modern country. And Kenyans are modern people who want to live according to the law. Let us now do this exercise with the decency that it requires. Some of these primitive habits that some of our political leaders have lived with for a long time, moving people around, hassling others and talking about this clan must be here and there. Let's stop these things. They are affecting the way in which our people live. Because I am aware, as I speak to you this morning, that we are following up certain of those kinds of activities in certain parts of the country. But I want to tell you, we are ready because we are monitoring those things. We are watching you as you are trying to do those things, and we are aware of the meetings you had last night And at an appropriate time, we will ensure that you meet with the law so that you are helped to live as a decent person and as a decent leader. But let us not disturb our people by trying to move people around in that kind of manner. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we wish all of us the best because this involves all of us. And I want to, on behalf of all these good people, take this opportunity to thank you for coming and thank our colleagues for the great work that has been done and hope that we will complete this successfully in the next few days. Thank you very much, and I think we can take a few questions. Wangoi?